So I'm going to tell you the story about Jeanne being on The Price is Right. I remember very, very well the day that I heard that she was going to be on television. I was in third grade at Steenrod Elementary School, and Jim and my parents were away. They'd gone to Boston to look at MIT, and I was staying with my Aunt Mary and my Aunt Esther up near Ogilvy Park in Wheeling. So it was a little bit of a hike to get me to school every day. And I think they were gone for the better part of a week. So one day, I guess it was on a Wednesday, we got a call from my parents saying that Mama was going to be on The Price is Right the next day. And so I don't know how this happened, but we pulled some kind of strings, and I was able to take a small black and white portable television that my father had. It was a little thing, a screen about this big, and take it to school. And we sat it in the front of the classroom with my third grade students, and I sat right in front of it, and they all crowded around me. And for that Thursday and that Friday and the following Monday, we watched my mother on The Price is Right. So with that show, she was the champion, which means she won more than anybody else on the first day, and she did it again on the second day, which was Friday. And as Jim tells the story, my parents had to get Jim back to go back to school. He was on his spring break. And so they came back to Wheeling over the weekend, and my mother and her friend Ginger Hesse went back up to New York on that Monday for the show. And my mother was defeated that day. But it was a terrific experience to be in third grade, 8 years old. Just think about how you were when you were 8 years old, or for those of you who aren't yet 8 years old, think about your siblings who were 8 and think, wow, they got to go watch their mother on television and with their whole class. And of course, we went to lunch right after the show, third grade. We're going to lunch, and all the kids were patting me on the back and, you know, congratulating me, and I felt like $1 million. Now, on the very last day, one of the prizes was a pony, and I was there in my classroom, and everybody was going, Mother, you gotta win the pony, you know, and we were cheering her on. She didn't win the pony, which is probably a good thing. But what she did win was a player piano, an upright piano, which when they delivered came in a big crate. And I took that crate and we put it in the backyard on the edge of the yard, and I cut a doorway in it and a couple of windows, and it was like a playhouse. And I played in that thing until it fell apart. You know, we didn't weatherproof it, but it was a fabulous place to play. And I remember one last little bit about this Price is Right. So now I'm 10 years old, and I'm playing football in the backyard with some kids. I'm covered in mud. And my mother called me into the kitchen, and she said, I just want you to know that I've signed you up to take piano lessons, and you start tomorrow. And so, you know, I complained and groaned, but that music education that I got was fabulous. So my encouragement to all you young people watching this is study music, take an instrument, find something you want to do. Jack and Addie have been taking music lessons and drumming and guitar, and they've both performed in public venues, you know, a kids kind of venue, but you know, it's a great thing to have that music education. And I know others of you have done that, but all you kids should really focus on your music education.